paramedicine was something I wanted to do.
One of the things that got me into the profession is knowing that I was doing a career where I could make a real impact on somebody's life.
The paramedicine course is amazing. It prepares our students for the work that they're going to see. I love studying at Flinders because we have access to new facilities. We have strong emphasis here at Flinders on practical simulation, and it makes it much more interactive with my peers as well.
Our Paramedicine program is fully accredited through the Paramedicine Board of Australia. So we have a good balance between theoretical and clinical content within our program, which gives our graduates a really nice mix and understanding of what's required for the paramedic profession.
Flinders graduates have an amazing reputation nationally and internationally based on those practical simulation skills that have been developed with underpinning clinical reasoning, decision making, and habit physiology knowledge earlier and now here at Flinders. One thing here at Flinders is that most of our teaching staff are registered paramedics.
And we feel that's important so that we have a really good understanding of real world and contemporary paramedicine, and we can bring that into the classroom.
Studying paramedicine has definitely made me more patient with people.
It's changed me for the better as it's been able to open up my eyes.
It's really taught me to just take time with people as well, just listen.
Standout moment for me is that we get the opportunity to work with the South Australian Ambulance Service.
I think it's really exciting. It's probably one of my favourite parts of the degree.
Being able to tie all of the learning that I've done and actually take that out into the real world.
It's a great learning experience, and I think it's one of the key factors of doing this degree.
Being a paramedic is not for everybody, but if you're somebody who's a great communicator,
if you are passionate about helping people
and wants to make an impact on people's lives,
then this is definitely the course for you.
Okay, welcome everyone. Before we begin, I'd like to do an acknowledgement of country. Flinders University would like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the lands of which we teach. Ghana, down here in Bedford Park in South Australia, and Larrakia up in the Northern Territory in Darwin, where our paramedicine degree is also run. And we'd also like to honour elders past, present and emerging. Thank you. So welcome to all of you, our new students commencing here in 2024. There's a few of you watching live online as well, so welcome to yourselves. And to any friends or family that may be in the audience, welcome to you as well. I hope that you're all feeling proud of yourselves. It's a big achievement to get into this degree. It's a very competitive degree to get into. So congratulations on being offered a spot and accepting that spot into this degree. And welcome to Paramedicine. Welcome to one of the most rewarding careers you'll ever do and come across. My name is Jared Wilkinson, and I am the Bachelor Paramedicine first year coordinator and a topic coordinator for a couple of topics over the year as well. And today I'll be your main host. I'd like to, obviously, as I said before, congratulate you on being here. It's a great achievement. And I'd like to welcome you to Flinders University, the College of Medicine and Public Health, and the Bachelor of Paramedicine. You're now one of the team, and you're part of the Paramedicine ambulance family as well. So today, some formalities first. You're going to start and you're going to meet some staff, and you're going to meet some current students as well. And some support services that are available to you at the university. After this, there's going to be some refreshments provided in the registration room, and then downstairs in our teaching suite, we have some displays set up for you, including some mannequins where you can undertake and have a crack at CPR. I'm just one of the many people that you're going to be seeing this year as your first year coordinator, and one of the people here to help you through your degree. In this college at this university. You're going to be tested this year, and over the course of your degree, it's hard work. There's obviously assignments, lectures, practicals, etc., but it is fun at the same time. And at the end of the day, you're going to be able to go for a job as a paramedic and work for a number of ambulance services in Australia and overseas as well. So it's all going to be part of your personal growth. You're going to be challenged along the way. Unfortunately, you're going to come across, when you're on placement, some situations that are going to be confronting. That's just part of the job. But we are here to support you and guide you through that. And we're here every step of the way. I'm just one of the many staff members here who are registered paramedics and currently work for SA Ambulance Service as well. So obviously, and also we have our St John NT ambulance staff that teach into our degree up in the Northern Territory as well. So I know what it takes to be a paramedic, I know what it's like to be a paramedic, and I am a graduate of this degree, though it was some time ago now. Some of our student mentors here were probably in primary school, not quite born when I graduated, I think, or getting very close to. Some of you, I think, might be on that limit. For me, I'm getting a little bit older. So we've got a few speakers for you. I'd like to welcome you again personally. And for now, just sit back and relax. And I'd like to introduce you to our first speaker of the afternoon. This is our Vice President and Executive Dean of the College of Medicine and Public Health, Professor Jonathan Craig.
Thanks, Jared. I too would want to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land at which we're meeting here, Adelaide Plains. That's the Kaurna people, Kaurna Yata. Also acknowledge Larrakia people in Darwin. Well, it's a joy to be here. It's a joy to be here because one of the extraordinary positive experiences that someone in a privileged position has is that when you encounter students, particularly the peer mentors, it just fills your heart with some degree of pride and joy to get that, the whole constellation of smiling, engaged Year 3 students who are here to support you and your learning is an incredible thing. And I think this is a testament to the special characteristic of this degree, the staff that you are going to be exposed to, but also the students. Because although we'd like to think, and we do have fabulous educators, but that peer mentoring and that peer education is as critical as anything else. I was reminiscing with some of the Year 3 peer mentors about what life was like for them, and think about it back to year 2020 when we had a pandemic, which is not, as you know, completely resolved, but to hear the experiences they had about trying to navigate social distancing, masks, and the like, with a discipline that requires pretty intense connections with things like mannequins was particularly challenging. But the good news is that they've got through it. We also, Jared, you remind us about some of the history, and what is also very evident is the fact that the degree that you are doing is very different to the degree that was done historically. That's evident by some of the students that you can see they have Bachelor of Paramedic Science, I think. Some of you have got Paramedicine. Some of you have got the old logo. Some of you have got the new logo where the ship has sailed, thankfully. So it is evolving. You have joined a fabulous course where ultimately we are here to support people at their most vulnerable period of their lives, which is when they have an acute emergency. One of the very positive things, as you would be aware, is that particularly in this state and also the NT, the criticality of paramedics is very much in the public consciousness. People recognise that paramedics provide a fabulous point of healthcare at a point of very challenging life course for individuals. And it's been wonderful to see how the SA Gov in particular has increased the opportunities for our graduates such that we are confident that, unlike historically, that all of you will find an internship place. And that is, I think, a reflection of the community support for your profession. I think it also speaks to the quality of education that you're going to experience. So welcome, congratulations, but please be so aware that ultimately, as a healthcare professional, you are not here for you, you are here for the individuals that you're going to provide extraordinary care to in the future. And I look forward to meeting you individually and collectively. Thanks, Jared.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Okay, next I'd like to present Brad Mitchell, our Bachelor of Paramedicine course coordinator.
Thanks, Jared. I'd like to express or extend my welcome to you all as well. So first of all, congratulations in getting into this degree. Highly competitive and highly popular. You will be joining the largest cohort that Paramedicine at Flinders has ever had. So we've got approximately 220 students starting this year. So massive congratulations in getting in, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about my role as course coordinator, as somebody who you may have to come across. That doesn't sound right, does it? So my responsibility is making sure that the degree runs, that you receive the education that you deserve, that is high quality, and that pretty much is, we're an accredited program, so we need to make sure that everything we do meets a certain standard. So that comes across as my responsibility, as well as the other teaching staff. And basically everything to do with assessment. So you come to university, there's going to be assessments and things that you need to do as well. I'm also the main liaison person for the ambulance services, so when we have to speak to them about anything to do with clinical placement or student experiences out on clinical placement, I'll have regular meetings with them, and also executive. So we're talking about the university executive, so our bosses, and Jonathan is one of those people. I also liaise with the student body, so you'll hear from them soon as well. This is a student association, and I have regular catch-ups with them where they can raise student issues and see if we can make any changes or make sure that everything's just tracking okay and going all right. Also, I guess one of my key roles is making sure that you get through the degree, that you progress. And so some of you may go on to study plans because you're not studying full-time. Some of you may have put in credit applications because you've had previous studies. You've come from another degree, and so we may give you credit for a specific topic so you don't have to repeat that topic. And if there's any pending applications, bear with me because there's been a lot. So there's a few still I'm getting to, so bear with us. And also general support and things. So generally, any student-related issues will come through me. But do know that the university has a lot of support in place for students. Everything from, study skills all the way through to, lifestyle and wellness and things, and you'll hear from those people today as well. I also have to resolve any issues. So one of those may be around professionalism and attitude, almost like you've got to go and speak to dad because you've done something wrong, but hopefully that's not the case and that generally doesn't happen. So, but yeah, you may have to meet me for a discussion over certain things, but also academic integrity. So you'll learn a little bit about academic integrity in one of your first topics, which is all around ethical behaviour and making sure what you do is your own work. All right, so everything that you present is your own good quality work. And then anything to do with registration as well. So paramedics are a registered profession. So you will be registered as a student. So therefore there's some accountability there to uphold the standards of the profession as being a paramedic. And just for like a little bit of context, you've got the university. You might hear us talk about the college. So when we're talking about the college, we're talking about the College of Medicine and Public Health. So a subset of the university, like a faculty. And then we fall under that as a discipline, being paramedicine. So Jared mentioned before around students in Darwin or Northern Territory. There's also students in regional South Australia. So we have 3 streams to this program, being the internal program, which most of you would be aligned to. So you'd be coming to regular classes every week. Then we have students in Darwin that will do some of their studies online, and then they'll go into the campus in Darwin for all their practical activity, and our staff will, travel up there to teach with the St John Paramedics in the Northern Territory. And then also we have students in regional South Australia that will come into campus here a few times a semester, and they'll do their classes at that point. Now, I did mention about the number of students being 220 of you commencing, of which the breakdown for this year is actually around, generally we sit around that 50-50 of those coming out of school, and then those coming from other degrees or via other entry pathways, whether that's done some previous study, vet sector, or job or life experience. And I'm not sure if you can sort of look around the room at each other, but the commencing cohort this year is 70% female, 30% male, and significantly young. So we're looking at around 60 to 70% of the cohort being under 25. So we've got a very young demographic coming through. This has been headed this way over the last few years, actually. So we've gone from paramedicine as a profession being predominantly male-dominated. If you'd called an ambulance, maybe as a little kid, you'd have 2 blokes rock up. Now you probably get 2 25-year-old females turn up. Not saying that's nothing, a few snickers, but literally that's the way it's going. So the attraction to healthcare and the attraction to this job and this profession really swaying towards females. I did touch on registration, so this is just a little note about that in terms of you are registered as a student. So it's about upholding those standards that, and we need to notify AHPRA, which is the Australian Health Practitioners Regulation Agency, about any issues that we may have over a student who is potentially going to be out in the public in the future. Same as nurses and same as doctors. So we need to make sure that you're a really good human and you're going to be okay to go out and deliver the care to the community. So, a few tips here to make your study successful and make sure that you have a really good introduction to university life is to make sure if you've got any problems or you're coming across any issues that you actually speak to the staff here. So speak to your topic coordinators, the people that run each of the subjects that you will be studying. And if you've got an issue whatsoever, just do it early. Don't wait and wait and wait. And know that there are lots of services available to you that you'll be directed to in the first instance. Okay, so there's lots of people at the university here to help you succeed, and whether that's around making sure you understand expectations and study requirements and things, we're all here hoping that we can come through at the end of the day and you'll be working alongside people like Jared and myself on an ambulance. But in order to be able to succeed, you need to put in a lot of effort. And it takes time, and you've got to treat this like a full-time job. So it actually is a huge amount of work to be able to do really, really well. So it's not just coming to class for so many hours a week, but it's also the study at home and the extra practice in your own time, and then doing your assessments and things like that. So it's a lot of effort. So it's pretty much impossible to work full-time and study full-time. I'll tell you, it is impossible, because you have certain classes that you need to attend. Sometimes even working 0.5, like working part-time and then studying full-time, is a massive commitment. So there are certain classes that you will need to attend every single week to get the most out of your learning. Some of them are compulsory, some of them are linked to assessment, so you do things where you get grades for being in your class. So you need to be able to have that commitment to be able to attend. Okay, we really want you in class. So thinking of that, you may go, maybe I can't study full-time, and then that's when you would get in contact with me, where we can look at altering what you do to maybe study part-time and just taking a little bit longer. And if anything, and you've got any of these concerns and stuff, there's Ask Flinders. So you hear all about Ask Flinders, Ask Flinders, Ask Flinders. Just email them and then they'll direct it to the right person. So you need to arrive early for class as well. You need to be prepared. It's like being ready for a job. You know, you need to be up early, away you go. And the car park's always full, first few weeks of semester. And the last thing you need to be worried about is trying to find a car park and your class starts in 10 minutes and then you realise, sturt, this campus here is a little bit of a rabbit's warren. You can't find your way around, signs are bad, and then you're getting stressed. So make sure early, get a car park. Also, pay for your car parking, because then the last thing you don't want is a ticket when you rock back at the end of the day. It happens. And basically, be prepared and do all the pre-reading, come to class ready to learn, like super passionate. But you also need to be available for, class weeks and exam weeks. So I'm going to stress this point significantly, is that you must be available during exam periods. Don't book holidays. Parents or family and friends don't surprise your, person studying with a holiday to go see grandma in New Zealand because you think that it's, an exam period and teaching's finished. Every single year it happens, and every single year students can't attend an exam and they fail, then they automatically add another year to their degree. So it's so important that I'm saying it on, uni hasn't even started yet, and I'm telling you this is important, all right? So keep those periods clear. On a lighter note, wear your uniform. You're going to get a uniform. It's pretty cool. These guys here are all wearing it. Wear it with pride. You're representing Flinders. You're representing yourself. You're representing Paramedicine. Okay, so you have to wear that to certain classes and when you're on clinical placement. And to be ready for clinical placement, a whole raft of things that you need to do, and you've been sent many an email about that. So get on with that, get all those things signed off, doctor's appointments made, immunisations done if they haven't been done yet, and really keep on top of that so you can just hit the ground running. Welcome.
Thank you, Brad. Okay, now you get to meet your first semester topic coordinators. If you're full-time, this is the 4 of us. If you're part-time, you'll get 1 or 2 of us. So first of all, I'm Jared Wilkinson, obviously first year coordinator, but more so the Para 1000 Introduction to Paramedic Practice topic coordinator. So that topic is basically the first topic where you're going to get your hands dirty. And it sounds simple, but we're actually going to start off with how to wash your hands. Fun, but it is an essential skill you need for compliance, and spreading germs, diseases, everything is 3 hands. That's how you get sick. Go to someone who's got an infection, you don't wash your hands, eat your food, you get sick. And then we're going to finish off, and as we move through the semester, end up getting you, and you're going to be, by the end of the semester, you're going to be functional, operational and proficient at managing an adult cardiac arrest at a basic to immediate life support level. So that's where we're going with this topic. It's fun, it's practical, a couple of our workshops, a couple of our lectures and a cheat each week, but you're going to have fun. This is with a topic where you're going to get your hands into the basics of being a paramedic, that basic life support, basic skills, and that will set you up for the rest of your degree as you progress through it. I would like to introduce to you Jane Harford, and she will tell you about her topic.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's lovely to be here to meet you all. My name is Jane Harford, and I am from the Health Sciences program, and I coordinate...
Gotta be on camera.
Because I have to be on camera. Hello to everybody at home. I coordinate a topic called Understanding Health and Illness and Health and Social Care in Australia. It's a topic that will introduce you to the health system broadly, but also broader influences on health, and we hope will help you to start to locate your future profession within the big picture, and also to prepare you for thinking about the wide range of roles that you will be qualified to take on with your scope of practice. as a future paramedic. You're one of the few professions who gets to dip in and out of all kinds of contexts inside and outside of the healthcare system, and we want to start you on a journey of helping to understand how to make sense of those things for your practice. Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Jane. Okay, thank you, Jane. Next, I would like to welcome Izzy Caldwell to the stage, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Isabella and I am the topic coordinator for Para 1007, which is contemporary approaches to lifestyle management. I've been a paramedic for the last 7 years and I've worked in the eastern suburbs, northern suburbs and in the Riverland actually as well. Over the last 7 years I've gained a big interest in how we actually cope and prepare to be a paramedic given how stressful and challenging the job role is. So throughout this semester you'll be learning on different ways on how to best prepare for the role. So we'll go through concepts such as resilience and well-being and how to foster that the best way we can, but also the reality of the job and the statistics behind the challenges we do face. But then also we will expand on what we have control over in our lives and how to best work towards making sure our physical and mental health is best established to actually not only be a great paramedic for ourselves and our professions, but actually to be the best for our patients too. So I look forward to meeting you all.
Thank you, Izzy. Helen can't be here with us today, so I've got a little short video that she's produced, and I'll stick that up for them.
I'm a topic coordinator of MP 1005, How Your Body Works. I apologise that I can't be there in person today to introduce myself. I'm actually going to be at a medical science orientation working session because I'm also the course coordinator of our Bachelor of Medical Science programs. So welcome to my topic, welcome to the Bachelor of Paramedicine degree. Congratulations on making it here. In my topic, How Your Body Works, what you'll be doing is actually literally learning about how your body works. So it's an introductory anatomy and physiology topic. You'll hear a bit about cellular physiology, leading up to the different body systems, moving through the nervous system, cardiovascular system, respiratory system, so on and so on. We finish off with the musculoskeletal system. But hopefully what you do is get a really good understanding of how the body works normally, or what we know about how the body works normally, and that helps give you a good foundation to start learning about what happens when things go wrong, which is what you'll start learning about in your future paramedicine topics, and how to actually treat that. And hopefully getting that understanding of what happens normally will give you an understanding of perhaps why you're using certain treatments and how certain medications might be working to help restore that normal function. So I will explain a lot more about the topic in your first workshop in week 1, but I look forward to meeting you all and working with you all throughout the semester. Enjoy the rest of your orientation session, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Apologies if that was a bit too loud. Okay, now I'd like to introduce to you a few of our peer mentors and peer educators. They're going to tell you about their role as peer educators and peer mentors. So I'd like to bring out Billy, Chris, and Gemma, please.
Okay, sorry. Welcome all to Paramedicine. I believe this is the best career in the world and this is just the beginning, and I'm so excited for each and every one of you and everything that you're about to experience. It is absolutely wonderful and it has been the best year of my life last year, genuinely. So as Jared has said, I'm Billy, Chris, and Gemma. And we're a part of your peer mentoring and education. So personally, I'm an educator and the 3 of these are all your mentors. Only a year ago, I was genuinely sitting where all of you were. I came straight out of high school and it was a very daunting journey knowing that I was coming into a university setting. I had no idea what to expect, and whilst I was so excited, I felt very isolated because I knew absolutely no one. On the very first orientation, not only did I meet all my peers, but I also got to meet the educators and mentors last year. And they gave me such an amazing insight into the course. They showed us around the teaching labs, as we would do for you after, and they explained how uni life works. And of course, where the best coffee is, because that is very important here, trust me. Straight after the lecture, you will meet with all your mentors into a group and they'll help you settle into your uni life. So I'll give it over to these guys so they can talk a bit on what the mentoring program is.
Hi, I'm Chris. Peer mentoring is a unique program set up to help ease your transition into university life. For the first 6 weeks, you will meet with myself, Chris, Gemma, or some of the other peer mentors, and we'll go through some stuff. So after these 6 weeks end, just feel free to reach out to us still if you have any queries or concerns. Although the structured meetings will end, we're still happy to support you wherever we can. We're here actually to help you answer any questions you have, or if we can't answer them, we can direct you to the correct person. As Billy said, starting university can be overwhelming. I know it was for myself. I personally found the program great as there was someone already in the degree who I could ask any questions no matter how silly they may have sounded at the time.
Hello everyone, my name's Chris, also Chris. I'm one of the peer mentor for this year, and first of all I'd just like to congratulate you all for making it here. It's, as Brad says, a very competitive degree and you all did really well. I also started out after finishing my high school, so I understand how overwhelming and intimidating it could be. For a first year, that's why I'm here today, because I literally was in your shoes 2 years ago. And I just want to be there for you, as my mentor was there for me, Sophie. I don't know where she is now, but she was a great inspiration for me. That's why I'm here today. Just enjoy yourself. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask. You realize, even though we all look intimidating, but when the questions asked, we just something switch and like goofy smile, and then we just help you out. Thank you.
I don't really have anything else to add. I mean, everyone's kind of covered everything. The only other thing I would say is something that's so unique and quite wonderful about this degree is everyone's friends. We wear the same uniform. We are on campus a lot more than a lot of other degrees. So everyone's friends, everyone's friendly. Being the type of career that you're going into and helping people like you have those, hopefully, have those people skills and the friend skills. You know, you might be set up with me in a group, but you're also free to contact any of the other peer mentors, and we'll always be a point of contact, or literally anybody else. It's just to help you ease your transition, so that you have someone to ask, well, you're lost, or you can't find something, or we'll be like, hey, your assignment's due next week. We're just a point of contact, just some friends for the first start, but enjoy your first welcome session and look forward to your first week.
Okay, they've all left me up here, but I needed to talk about the educating side of things because it's more than just a peer mentoring program, guys. Okay, so for us educators, there is quite a few of us over there as well. They're just not up here. We assist you with all your clinical skills and learning. So we will be in the classrooms with you, mainly in your practicals, and we'll be up in the simulation rooms. We'll help you in your workshops and assist the tutors. Again, we've also got some over here in the corner, and we'll help teach you those basic healthcare skills like washing your hands, but also the really fun clinical skills like the CPR and all of that. You're always welcome to come to us, like they said, if you need a bit of help practicing a skill. We can make a time, direct one-on-one with you or with a group, whatever you feel more comfortable with, and we can head up to that sim room with you and really consolidate that learning. It's so important that you understand not only the theory behind the skill, but how to perform that skill like effectively and confidently as well. So weeks will be very challenging, some will be very stressful. Like they've said, you'll have 2 assignments due in a week and you might feel too overwhelmed to be completely on top of the para. We're here to help you. We're more than happy to help consolidate that. In the classroom, come to us, say, hey, I'm really stressed. Can you talk me through this again? I didn't get it in the lecture. I didn't get you don't understand, but you'll get a page on how to perform everything. So if you don't get something, come talk to us. We're more than happy to talk to you in, out the classroom, absolutely anywhere. And we just really want you to feel confident within your skills. You hopefully will be our co-workers one day as well. So we're going to be working with you then, and we're more than happy to work with you now. But yes, congratulations, absolute welcome. And we're more than excited to start working with all of you next week.
Thank you very much. And just for information, these peer mentors and peer educators have actually gone through a selection process, merit selected process to be in their role. And they do have and in general, students themselves, we do have a good working relationships with our students as academics, teachers. Yes, we do teach you and draw the line somewhere, but we do have good working relationships with them. And most of these students have been here since 10 o'clock this morning and yesterday, helping me get ready for this session that you have here today. So I'd like to thank them myself for being here. Okay, next I would like to introduce you to Alicia. She's part of Yongerinthi, the Indigenous Support Unit here at Flinders University, and she's going to run you through the services they can offer Indigenous students here on campus and regionally and in Northern Territory. Thank you.
Hello, hi everyone, and thank you. My name's Alicia and I'm a Ngarrindjeri woman from the Murraylands, and now I work and live on Kaurna country. So I acknowledge that we're meeting here today on Kaurna Yata and pay my respects to Kaurna elders past and present, and to all First Nations people here in the room today, and those who are joining us online. So Yongerinthi is a name that is given to us by Kaurna elders, and it means to impart knowledge, to communicate and to inform. So we are student-centred and we provide support to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students studying at Flinders University. At Yongerinthi, we provide support on a range of matters, and that includes accommodation, financial support, pastoral care, advocacy. We've got dedicated counsellors. There's opportunities for students to work as a tutor or become a student ambassador. We also provide support with scholarships, finding accommodation, etc. We've also got the Deadly Study Skills program. So Mel Clark provides support which complements the tutoring, and so it ranges from uni life, so transitioning to university, as well as the academic support, so referencing, academic writing, proofreading, exam revision, and so much more. So we've got a space here on Sturt campus, so it's in room S14 on the south wing. So it is a culturally safe space for students in paramedics, nursing, midwifery, allied health. And it's been designed for quiet study, but also some group work, tutoring, and it's just a really nice, safe space for our students to go to. We've also got a space on the main campus, on the Bedford Park campus, which includes, we've got a kitchenette, a student lounge, computer lab, there's printing facilities, and it is 24/7 access to that space. We've got the beautiful Yongerinthi Imperilla. So Yongerinthi Imperilla means meeting place in Kaurna. It offers a space for smoking ceremonies, events and gatherings, and we also have learning and teaching that takes place in the Imperilla. It's just beautiful, beautiful spot. We've also got a student space in Darwin, so at CDU campus, and Kellyanne Brown is the Indigenous Student Support Officer who's based in Darwin. So like myself, I'm an Indigenous Student Support Officer here in Adelaide. Kellyanne's in Darwin, so she provides support to paramedic students but also those in studying medicine. The Paramedicine Indigenous Mentoring Program, so this is opt-in for first-year students in SA and the NT, so Northern Territory. So the way in which this program works is that you will be assigned with an Aboriginal and or Torres Strait Islander paramedic student, and they will become like your mentor. They'll be providing tailored support throughout your studies, help with the transitioning into university, and also a big one is assisting with compliance checklists. That is it from me. I've got our contact details on this slide, but thank you very much and congratulations to you all.
Thank you very much, Alicia. Okay, next I'd like to introduce you to Alex. Alex is from the Sport and Fitness Centre, which is up at main campus. He's also an exercise physiologist, and a teacher of ours as well, and he's going to introduce you to everything that their services can offer. Thank you.
All right, so I'll rush through this. I've got a fair bit to touch on, but I'm going to hang around after, so if you've got any questions, I will be here. So, first off, the gym on campus, you might have not seen it yet. We're up the hill, so we're not on Sturt campus. We're up at Bedford Park, but it's not too far away. It's a light jog, about, maybe 2K. So it's a 3-level gym, 24/7 access. Really, really affordable memberships, as you can see there. It starts from as little as $7.95 a week. Brand new facility, we decked it out, spent close to $500,000 on level 1, which is photographed up there. Amazing facility. We've got a cardio room and a women's only gym, so if you prefer to train in that space, that's 24/7 access as well. As part of your bronze membership, which is that $7.95, we've got group fitness classes, HIIT classes are included, yoga, Pilates, all that sort of good stuff. We've also got a strength and conditioning room, which is where you do some workshops later in the year. So if you prefer strength-based stuff, but a group environment, that's what we now call the bunker. But if you want to hear more about that, we can chat about that. We've also got personal training that can be in person or online. So that's one part of what we do. We've also got sporting clubs. We've got 22 different sporting clubs. Some are really competitive, some are more social, some are a little bit of everything. So depending on what you're chasing, a list of our teams are up there. There's also some standalone events. So I think my biggest regret of uni is not going to University Sport Nationals. So this year it's in Canberra. It's a 5-day competition, signing up for really casual level sport. But if you're competitive, I mean, most people are once they get involved. It's a 5-day sort of sport festival with a fair few parties interlinked with that. An essay challenge is similar, but essay-based stuff. So if you're interested in that, we can chat about that a little bit later. This is my baby, so it's called the Athlete Development Program. It's a full scholarship program, so if you're a state, national, or international level athlete, I would ask about this later. Applications close on the 5th, and what it is, it's a fully supported program where we give you a free membership, free coaching, tailored program to you and your sport, and your injury history and things like that. And you get free registration to go to nationals like we talked about in Canberra. So if you're an athlete, definitely apply for that one. Health and wellness is something we also do around campus a lot. So you'll see there's some green spaces around here at Sturt and up at the main campus. We'll put out games and things like that are free. We also do yoga and Pilates and stuff like that around the campus, and that's also ran down at Sturt. It's about $5 for a registration fee, and then you get a bunch of free classes. A couple of other big ones. We've got allied health, so we've got physio, massage, and EP. So EP is basically a highly qualified personal trainer, and these days it can be covered under your health insurance or a referral from your doctor. So if you've got a niggle or an injury, ask your doctor about an EP healthcare plan, and you can get your training for free, which is a nice little addition. And one of our biggest things we've added in the last 12 months is what we call the Fearless program. So it's an intro program. If you've never been in the gym before, you're terrified of the idea. When you sign up, you get a free session every month, a 30-minute session with a trainer. We take you through a beginner program and really show you how to use the facility, and that rotates through each month. So you could just stay on that program for a couple of months before looking for something a little bit more tailored, and that comes with support through our training app. These are probably the two biggest things we've got on O Week. So you might have heard about it. It's called the 19th Hole Tea Party. We have a lake up at Bedford Park. We're hitting golf balls into the lake trying to get a hole-in-one. If you manage to get a hole-in-one, you get $500. If you hit a duck, there's some big inflatable ducks out there, you get a $10 tavern voucher. Or if you manage to actually hit the green. A few people have hit the green, but no one's got the $500 yet. And we've got a relaxation and energy workshop. So the Wim Hof method, you might have heard about it. It's about controlling your breath and your stress levels and things like that. Go through a couple of hours of the methodology and how to control your breathing and relaxation. And then we're jumping into the ice baths to spike your stress levels and teach you how to use that breath work to calm yourself down, which can certainly be handy during exam periods. That is everything I've got. I know I covered a bunch of stuff. Like I said, I'm going to hang around and answer any questions you've got. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Alex. I've had Alex run a number of sessions that I've joined in on, and yeah, he's a tough coach. They're not sure, I have to ask him. I don't know if they have a Master's Athlete Development Program, but maybe that's a thing for us staff members and older students. Okay, up next we have Robert from Health, Counselling and Disability Services. He's going to run you through, obviously, the supports that they have in place. So thank you, Robert.
Thanks, Jared. Yeah.
Button there.
Yeah, so my name's Robert, or most people call me Bob as well, and I'm one of the psychologists and counsellors from the Health, Counselling and Disability Services. So I'm just going to give you guys just a quick run through of what sort of services are available on campus to help with your health and counselling and disability needs and things like that as well. So just to let you know, we have a bulk billed medical service available on campus as well. It's just based on the main Bedford Park campus as well, next to the sports gym there too, just upstairs. And you can see a GP there for any sort of any sort of need you would go for a GP for as well. It is getting hard to find bulk billed medical services out in the community as well, so this is a really good option while you're here at Flinders to see a GP in a timely manner right there to get any sort of medical needs checked out as well there too. So the GP service is available from 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and it's open most times of the year, well, practically the whole year right there, except for the Xmas New Year period right there as well. And it's, like I said before, bulk billed, so it's through your Medicare card. So if you come to the service, just make sure you bring your Medicare card, especially if it's your first visit, to have that on the file as well. And also for international students, if you just bring your overseas healthcare cover card as well, that would just ensure that that service is free for you there too. Also, let's just say if you can't attend a doctor's appointment in person, you can always have an appointment by telehealth as well. Just for the first appointment though, if it's your first time coming to the GP clinic, that appointment needs to just be in person for the first time as well. So it could be a good idea, like if next time you need to see a GP, come see a GP on campus as well there too. And let's just say like you're on placement or something like that and you're away from campus and you need to have a doctor's appointment, you can have an appointment by telehealth as well there too if it's been within 12 months of having your first appointment with the doctor in person. So we also have a blood collection facility there with SA pathology as well. So if you ever need to get your bloods collected and you've got the note from your GP right there too, you can just come into our service there too. You don't need to book an appointment. You don't need to book an appointment at all. You just come in on Mondays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays from 9 to 12. You just take a ticket and you can basically be seen within the next 20 minutes right there too. If you come bright and early, you kind of get seen within the first 15 minutes and then you're done from there. Also, if you're, let's say, seeing a GP off campus as well, and you might have like a ClinPath form, not an SA pathology form, that's completely fine as well. So if you just come to the health and counselling service there too, you can get the bloods done with a ClinPath form as well. So the counselling service, so that's kind of my main thing because I'm one of the counsellors right there as well. So we have a team of counsellors who are both psychologists and mental health social workers as well, and they see students for any sort of issues that are affecting their well-being as well. So it can be mental health related or well-being related right there as well. Some of the common things people might come in for could be things like relationship issues, any sort of crises they're having, any sort of grief that they might be experiencing, issues to do with self-confidence in your personal life or to do with academic things as well, procrastination, stress, anxiety, depression symptoms, motivational issues, decision-making, a range of different issues. If there's an issue that's affecting how you're feeling about things too, don't be afraid to come and see one of our counsellors too, even just have like a first session as well, just to see what can be helpful for you too to go forward there. So we're a little bit different to, let's say, a counselling service outside of university in terms of offering a brief counselling intervention service. So it's different to, let's say, getting a mental health care plan and seeing a psychologist outside of uni where you might see them for 10 sessions per year or more. With our sort of service, we see students for a few sessions per issue as well there too. And a lot of students find that really quite helpful, just to have a few counselling sessions for different issues they're going through as well at different time points in their university journey there too. If someone's needing a bit more long-term support or something to do with a mental health care plan, we can assist students with being able to link in with GPs and also outside services as well. And we also have 2 private practice psychologists also at the service there too, if anyone needs to see a psychologist on a 10-session healthcare mental plan as well. So sessions are available in person, by phone or by video call through Teams there too. And we also have duty counsellors who respond to more immediate concerns. So if ever yourself or someone you know might be going through a tough time and they probably need to be getting some maybe counselling support today, they can always call up the counselling service or they can come up to the counselling service as well to speak with one of our duty counsellors as a drop-in sort of thing there too to get some immediate support if need be. So to book in with the counselling service, it's just, if you just Google literally Flinders Counselling, it should be one of the first web pages that comes up right there as well. So if you just click on that form right there too, you just fill like a short little form there about best available times to be called back, and you can put some information there about the issue, or you don't have to as well, and just your details there, so that way one of the counsellors can give you a call back to discuss what might be happening for you and to book you in for counselling as well there too. Really important to let you know that all counselling with the service here is confidential as well, and it's completely separate to the academic side of things, so no one has to know that you're coming to counselling apart from yourself and those at the Health and Counselling Service there, and it's free. And we also have our Northern Territory counsellor. So for those who might be watching online today from the Northern Territory, Sarah Hogg is our counsellor up there as well. And I believe she might be doing a separate sort of orientation with some of the NT students as well there too. So I won't go into too much detail with this there too, but there's just some details there on screen if you can see that from the Northern Territory there. Cool. So apart from just individual counselling, we also offer a range of like group and support programs as well. So one of those being the Studyology program, which is an online program for anyone who has any sort of issues with procrastination. So it's self-run, it's 5 sessions long, you can do it over 5 weeks right there too. And it's an evidence-based program that really helps students with being able to tackle procrastination if that's an issue for them as well. We also have our ADHD support group, which is a brand new program running this year as well. So that's a 10-week support group as well to be able to support students who have ADHD and how to kind of get the most out of their university journey as well there. Another program we also run is Mindfulness for Academic Success. So that's a 5-week program, which is, I think it's starting in a couple of weeks' time there too. So if you're interested, just log on to, or just Google up Flinders Counselling and then also Health and Wellbeing programs, and you'll find out some more information about some of those programs there if you're interested as well. And also just to let you know, I'll be downstairs as well with the Health Counselling Disability Service as well to be able to answer any questions you might have later on there as well. We also have our Disability Advisor team. So for anyone who's new to Flinders and might be needing to have what's called an access plan, they can have an access plan if they experience a physical or mental health condition that might be getting in the way of some of their studies or things like that as well there too. So really important if you're interested in having an access plan there too, just to be able to have a confidential conversation with one of our disability advisors as well. Same thing as before, if you Google Flinders Disability Services, you'll get more information right there too, and you can book in an appointment with one of our disability advisors to be able to have some support and organise for an access plan if you need one there too. So with an access plan, just quickly there too, so an access plan might be able to give you a bit more time on assignments if you're struggling to get assignments done there too, or to be able to give you a bit more extra time on certain exams and things like that as well. So it's kind of giving you a bit more leeway to give you the best opportunities to get through your university journey. And there's just a list of some of the different conditions someone might seek an access plan for as well. We also have our Student Equal Opportunity and Sexual Violence Officer as well. So the Equal Opportunity Officer supports and assists students in the resolution of complaints in relation to bullying, discrimination, harassment, sexual harassment or victimisation. So that's available to any students who might be experiencing that related to their university journey from another student or by staff as well. So they can have a confidential conversation with one of our equal opportunity officers right there as well to work out what could be some different pathways, resolutions and support options there to go forward to resolve any sort of issue. And lastly, we just also have our out-of-hours crisis line as well. So this is a line that you can call or text on at any time of the evening on weeknights or any time day and night on weekends and public holidays as well. So this is a line for if yourself or if you know someone who might be struggling or who's experiencing emotional distress, they're experiencing a flare-up with their mental health issues, or if they're having any thoughts of harming themselves as well, they can always call this line that's available as well to get immediate support there after hours too. Or if they don't feel like talking on the phone, they can always use the text line as well to have a text conversation to get support in that moment there too. Yeah. So I think that's all. That's I think the next slide for the next person as well. But I thought I'd let you guys quickly know that in regards to placements coming up and things like that there too, I believe you might need to get your vaccinations done as well. Yep, Jared's nodding, yep. So if you come downstairs, there's going to be one of our receptionists from the Health and Counselling Clinic there who's got their laptop open. They'll be able to take bookings for you guys to book in with the GP just to get all your vaccinations done. It's better to get your vaccinations done as soon as possible if you haven't had the full gamut of vaccinations right there done. Sometimes some students might leave it till a bit last minute before their first placement, but some vaccinations, there's like a, it might be a double dosage where there's a bit of a time frame between getting the first and second dose. So get it sorted out, earlier on this week or next week. Come downstairs and come see us, and we can book you in to have an appointment with the GP to get all that sorted, so you don't have to worry about it for later on. Yeah, cool. Well, thank you for having me, and wishing you all the very best for this year and the journey ahead.
Thank you, Robert. All right, yes. As Robert mentioned, there's some compliance things such as vaccinations. You're going to get probably a little bit over or sick of me in the next couple of weeks about compliance. We'll worry about that more so, but I've heard a number of you started, that's good. Also in your welcome bags, if you've had a look already, you will see there's a SA Ambulance Service peer support card with Flinders University contacts, and it's the same in the Northern Territory with St John Ambulance. We have a memorandum of understanding with both ambulance services peer support networks and with the Flinders University Health and Counselling Service. And if you happen to go to something on shift, on your PTS, ESS or emergency placements during the course of your degree that is confronting, the ambulance service peer support programs can take initial contact with you, or you can contact them and they'll refer you back to the University Health and Counselling. And there's a number of different variations that you may need to access that. Okay, so the next slide's from Flinders University Student Association. They're supplying, or so one of their student representatives will be downstairs after this session. They just didn't have anyone who could undertake this speech. So I'm going to go through it with you. So basically, Flinders University Student Association is the wider student representative body for all students on campus. So they're a student organisation that represents the rights and interests of all students here on campus. They're here to improve campus culture, obviously, provide services, and they have a number, and we'll go through shortly. They have support clubs, societies, and they're doing a lot of stuff with O Week as well, especially up at main campus, and they want to make your university experience as fun as it can be. So yeah. There's a student council. There's 20 members who represent the rights, interests and welfare of students. These students are obviously elected, so there's an election process each year. And they manage a wide variety of events, campaigns and activations as well. They can help you with academic representation. So that can be any number of things. And they perform a vital role in that as well. So got a bit of a liaison between academic staff, your tutor, lecturer and yourself as well. They also have financial counsellors to help students in difficult times. They have a number of supports in with that as well, including emergency funding or emergency financial support. Academic advocacy, as I said before, so review of grades, placement issues, integrity issues, e.g. like academic integrity issues, and they can help you when you're going through that process if you unfortunately find yourself in certain situations like that. And they also have development grants related to professional development and leadership, and financial support grants as well for those students who may be experiencing financial hardship as well. As I said before, they have a number of clubs and student communities, academic, cultural, spiritual, social, special interest and community and social justice. They have a number of student events. They obviously help out with O Week, which is this week, the University Ball, Reconciliation Week, Are You OK Day, Queer Week, and they do like pop-up stalls and stuff. They'll come down here from time to time as well. And student media, they have their own on-campus student media magazine as well with student news, and you can contribute if you want to. Okay, so that's FUSA. I don't have much more information apart from that, but they are there to support you, and you can access their details on the Flinders University website or just Google FUSA. Okay, next we have the Bachelor of Paramedicine at Stafford Wolf Opportunity Scholarship. I'm going to start off with a video from Gabe, and then we did have a student who was a previous recipient of the award, but unfortunately she's just contacted me about half an hour ago that she can't make it today due to some personal reasons. So we'll start off with the video first and then we'll move on. Apologies, I'll try and get the volume right.
I'm a paramedic myself, and I'm a graduate of the Flinders program back in 2016.
Sorry for being there people in person, but I am here to talk to you quickly about the Stafford Opportunity Scholarship, which some of you might be eligible for. Just before I get onto that, I just did want to say congratulations, firstly, getting into the course. I know it's very competitive, but much more importantly, I wanted to say to you, welcome to the ambulance family. And the reason I say that is because the ambulance community is quite unique and it's very tight-knit, and we're a community that works together very closely, and we really do care about each other. And now that you're part of that family, we really do care about you as well. One little element of that is the Stafford Opportunity Scholarship, which was founded a few years ago by staff and by myself. Staff was one of those kind of icons that you meet once or twice in a lifetime, who was really successful academically, really well respected in the ambulance community, and also just kind of loved by everyone that met him. And this scholarship is a little part of his legacy here at Flinders. So the scholarship gives a modest amount of money in semester 1, which you're starting right now, to help cover some of the initial costs that you're probably facing, things like uniforms, boots, vaccinations, the like. And it's aimed at people who are facing financial hardship and financial barriers. And we set this up because we want you to be able to focus your energy right now on your studies, not on how you're going to meet those costs. Now, if you're listening and you're thinking $500 is not that much money, that's great. You're probably not one of the people that needs it, and that's fantastic. If you instead are in the position that both staff and I were when we began the degree, and you think, wow, that could make quite a big difference in my life right now, we really want to hear from you. And we understand that hardship can come in a lot of different forms. You don't necessarily have to be on Centrelink to qualify for this scholarship. A key part of the application process is an option to write a little description or an outline of your circumstances and why this scholarship would help you. So please do apply if you think you need it. So where can you go for a bit more information? I will show you. Head to the scholarships website for Flinders, search for Stafford, and you'll find the Stafford Opportunity Scholarship, and you'll find all the information you need there. So that's really all I have to say. Once again, congratulations, welcome to the family, and good luck.
Okay, so yeah, as I said before, unfortunately, Norma can't make it in today. Okay, next I would like to introduce you to Anthea and Justin. So Anthea is one of our academic staff members here, and Justin's from the Australasian College of Paramedicine. And they're going to explain 4 of the Paramedicine awards that are on offer to all of you students over the course of your degree. Thank you.
Ooh, we get one each. Look at that, we can tag team two each. There.
I'm only going to talk about one of them, and you're going to talk about 3.
Oh, that doesn't seem fair, does it? Okay, well, would you like to go ahead first? I do believe that's the one on the board, so I'll let Justin introduce himself.
Is this on? No, I don't think it is.
That one is.
All right, so my name's Justin Horello. I'm the Regional Engagement Officer for the Australasian College of Paramedicine. If you haven't heard of us, I'll be talking about us a little bit in the future, towards the end of the presentation. But we offer one of the awards for research excellence. You don't really have to worry about that this year. It's for one-year, third-year courses, research fundamentals. So whoever gets the best mark in that class overall, they are awarded the Research Excellence Award, and it's a $500 scholarship. And it's basically there because the college understands that research is important when it comes to paramedicine, not just for things that are patient-facing, like patient care, but also for things associated specifically for paramedics and your well-being. So lots of different research out there, and we understand we need to support it. So.
Sorry, yeah, it was getting the memo of the... Sorry to everybody at home that we had the wrong screen on. I'll blame Jared for that. Thanks, Justin. Good mate that I've met a long time ago. about an hour ago. But since Norma didn't show up, it gives me more time than what Jared's allocated on here. So I'm going to capitalise on that and say welcome. I'm Anthea, and I am one of those lecturers that Jared was referring to that is also a paramedic with SAS. And I want to echo Gabe's sentiment there when he was saying about welcoming you to the family. This is an amazing opportunity to be in this course, and I'm so glad to have you along for the ride. Congratulations on getting this far. Like, seriously, sit back and just, revel in what you have achieved so far. It is a highly competitive course to get into for good reason. And the students have already started to touch on it. So I was very proud of watching them up there, telling you how excited they are to help you. And we are here as well. So there is that step of the students helping students, and then the staff also helping you as well, and then your future colleagues and who will be your mentors on road when you go out on placement as well. So hopefully you're feeling positive about that. And then also I get to come up here and talk about even more fun things, which are the awards and the things that you can start to work towards after you've taken your breath and gone, okay, cool, got into the course, what's next? Gonna keep pushing forward and getting more and more motivated to do well. So as Justin said, we've talked about the research one, which is really important, but it is in third year, so we know that one will be parked in the back of your brain for a little while now. And similarly, our Russell Liston Award for Paramedic Clinical Excellence is also a third year award, but I do want to kind of get you thinking about it now by giving you a bit of a story. Russ was an amazing clinician, an awesome guy as well. He was an intensive care paramedic with SAS for many years and a brilliant educator. He was actually my educator when I was doing an internship, and just had a real passion for helping people and just embodied everything that you would want a paramedic to be. He would be like a total larrikin, like a lovable guy, super fun and happy, but just so caring to everyone that he met. And yes, tragically, a few years ago, he died in an accident whilst overseas. And to kind of honour him, this Clinical Excellence Award was created for our students. And what's really important about this one is that the nominations for this award come from the paramedic mentors that you're working with when you're out on placement. So your crew that you go along with, they are the ones that will notice you and go, hey, you really are showing us all the cool things that we want to have a paramedic to be. And you remind us of Russ, and you're doing the right thing. So we're going to nominate you. So you've got one element there that it's coming from industry is recognising, you're doing pretty good. And then what's even better is the winner of the award is actually selected from those nominations by the Paramedic Course Committee, which are all of us, the faculty, the staff members within the course, as well as the ambulance service executive as well. So you get some real buy-in there, so you know that if you get this award, then you are, doing the right thing, and it's going to look pretty good on your CV, and you get some cash. But most importantly, it's kind of reassuring that all the hard work that you're going to do over the next 3 years, or however long it takes if you're part-time, has really paid off. So think about that now, because you will be starting placement, because you will do all your compliance. Jared will hassle you enough for that, and you will get out in the ambulance, and you will be there, some of you, within the next 3-4 weeks. So that's pretty exciting. And you can start building your reputation with those future colleagues right then. So that's what's so important about that one. So whilst you're not eligible to win it yet, you're still a few years off from that, you can start working towards it now. So hopefully that's in your mind there. And now to talk about another amazing guy, Stafford Wolf Paramedic Graduate of the Year Award. Now, Stafford was just an all-around amazing guy. Gabe has already mentioned that. And in so many different ways. He was a true icon. He was a mature age student when he started here with us a few years ago, and he took a long time to get through the course. He's had quite a few setbacks and challenges throughout his time while studying, as Gabe has already alluded to as well. And he persevered. He was like the epitome of resilience, and he could push through, and whatever was going on in his day, he came to class, he showed up, and he put in 100% every single day. What more, he actually reached out to everybody else as well, everyone around him. So he was instrumental in the Student Association, and you're going to hear from them very soon. And you can kind of see that, a thing to them that they've even put in that wolf in their symbol there, and you can kind of make the connections as to how significant he was for the students themselves. And then not even more just than that, he made built really good rapport with the staff as well. True mature age student style, as they do. Asked lots of questions and just kind of got it all done, which was amazing. So very well respected from his peers and the staff, and then was able to go out and then come back and start tutoring and helping in that way as well. And as all of my good build-up stories come to a crashing end, obviously there is the sad moment of it after his totally horrific diagnosis in early 2020 with cancer. He didn't just take that lying down, he fought on hard and just kept pushing through and raising money, doing all these amazing fundraisers and things, and also just establishing a scholarship as well. And I want you to know he did not want it to be named the Stafford Wolf Opportunity Scholarship, very much did not, but Gabe and I pushed him for that because we wanted to make sure that the name would live on in that way, and he reluctantly agreed to let us use his name there, and then we sneakily used it to create this award in his honour as well. And also the Triple O Ball, which some of you may or may not have heard of, is a ball that the emergency services have every year, and the funds from that, part of them come to the Stafford Wolf Opportunity Scholarship, so the linkage there. And you'll be able to give back by coming and volunteering at that event later in the year, hopefully. So you can see full circle the effort that he's put in to establish that scholarship, him and Gabe together, to get that started, just to help that loop of welcoming into the family and being able to support each other and then being able to give back. And both he and Gabe were very much about that scholarship. It wasn't, a handout. They wanted it to be as a opportunity to here's a bit of money when you're in need, which both of the boys were when they started here in their first year, and then you can pay back into that later on when you're very successful paramedics, earning lots of money and going on lots of holidays with all of your excess cash that you get. So this Graduate of the Year award, this one now, whilst it is a third year one, so you have to be graduating to be eligible for it, so you need to be in your final year of study, the nominations actually come from peers. And that could be from yourselves. So you've already been told you're going to have third year mentors and educators in your class, and maybe you'll feel form a good bond with them and feel that you could nominate them for the Stafford Wolf Award. And so you should be able to think about that and how that will then transpire. So this one is nominated by peers of any year, first, second, third, for somebody else. And then again, selected by the course committee, so the staff then will choose which nomination best fits with the criteria for the awards. You'll find lots more about this when it comes time to nominate and to be selecting these recipients, but just for you to think about that now. So there are things to be considering early on. And our final award as well, so the Tom Sutherland Engagement Award. Now this one is very relevant to you, and Tom was such a unique unique character, a first-year student. He was a young dad that was inspired to be a paramedic by being involved in the successful resuscitation of a customer in his place of work. And from that moment, and he saw the paramedics coming in and taking over after he'd been doing his first aid compressions, he was like, that's it, that's what I want to do. And he worked hard to get here, like very hard. He had to go through the foundation course at Flinders, get accepted into the Bachelor of Health Science, work his butt off to get his GPA high enough to then be able to transfer into our course. And so he was dedicated. And one of the first students to ever arrive in the class, last to leave, didn't apologise for just asking questions until he fully understood something. And it was great. He was even in his prac exam for your Para 1000 exam that you're going to have. He was up in the sim room practising his skills. Constantly had to kick him out to say, come on mate, you need to have a break, but he was that dedicated. So that was Tom, and had a real passion for paramedicine, as you can tell. And yes, again, tragically passed away in an accident halfway through his first year, and his family developed this award to help his kind of legacy and his commitment to this course live on, hopefully through you. You can continue on his goal and his path to actually graduate and qualify and become a paramedic. So they offer up the $500 for the recipient, and just kind of that, understanding that you're really putting in your best and dedicated to your studies. He was also recognised that this isn't just about yourself, it is about encouraging each other. So he was a mate for everyone as well. So that's the big thing to take away from this, is work hard and be dedicated, but also encourage each other and work as a team. So this one is one where you can all nominate each other, as well as other students from other year levels. Second and third years might nominate you if you're one of those students that's really putting in, really trying hard, doing your best, and just a really cool person to be around, that really lifts the spirit and makes people really want to be here. And you might get a nomination for this, or put in a nomination for your peer, and Jared gets to be the lucky one to choose the winners from all of the applications for that one. So I highly recommend you thinking about this one, because that will come out in a few months' time as well. So I know that I'll get kicked off now. I did say I'd take extra time, but I don't want to hold you too long between you and your food that's out there. But again, welcome, congratulations, and I look forward to seeing you in the next week when you come back to campus.
Thank you, Anthea and Justin. And we do have one recipient of the Tom Sutherland Award, Chris, here today. He's one of the peer mentors as well. And I know you're thinking those other awards are third years, and you're going to put it on the back burner. Still keep it in your mind. Your 3 years, although it seems like it's a long way away, it will go really, really quick. When I look back on my life and my career as a paramedic, that 3 years in uni is a blip on the map, or the journey. I would like to now introduce you to the FUSPA, or the Flinders University Student Paramedic Association Reps Committee, and they're going to talk to you about all the cool fun stuff that they're here to support you with and activities they do with you. There you go. Just turn it off. Yep, just turn it off.
Shall I turn it on? Yeah. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Willow, and I'm the president of the Flinders University Student Paramedic Association, or FUSPA. So today I'll just be outlining what FUSPA does. I'll touch on the student life side of paramedicine and tell you how you can all get involved. And as everyone has already said, I'd just like to say a big congratulations and welcome to everyone here. I know it's a really competitive degree and a lot of work has gone into getting yourselves here, so well done. So FUSPA is the student representative body of the paramedicine degree at Flinders, and our main purpose is to advocate for you and provide a channel of communication between students and the teaching staff here. On top of this, we are responsible for all of the paramedicine merchandise that you may see around the uni, and also for the facilitation of both educational and social events throughout the year. So just touching on our history, FUSPA was established in 2007, and its founding committee members actually included some of the teaching staff you see here today. We've been through a few changes since, however our purpose has remained the same. One big change has been the logo, which has transformed into what you see now on the screen. So this logo was made to honour Stafford Wolf, as Anthea previously talked about, who was a fellow student and ex-FUSPA president. So the wolf symbol in the middle of the logo represents the values of loyalty, wisdom and intelligence, which are all very appropriate for this degree. And you'll see this logo on a lot of our merchandise and just around the uni in general. So if you want to have a bit more of a read about our history, we have some information up on our website as well. Now, who we are now, we currently have 6 committee members. We've got myself, Bree, who is our vice president. We've got Dia over there, Maddie, Michael and Angus. Now, every year we open up applications for 3 first-year representatives, and this year we're also looking for 2 representatives from the NT and 1 from our regional stream, and we'll touch on this application process at the end. So, as we said before, we play a really important role with communication between staff and students. So we regularly liaise with and are in contact with all members of the paramedicine teaching team here, and we're ultimately here for you and your student experience. So if you ever have any feedback, questions or ideas or concerns that you'd like discussed with your year level or topic coordinator, please come up to any of us and have a chat at any time, and you can also reach us through our socials or email us. And before we get into the events hosted by us, we'd also just like to show you some of the FUSPA merchandise that will be available to purchase on our website from tonight. Our shirts and jumpers are extremely popular around the uni, and we have a few on display at our stall for you to have a look at afterwards, and a small amount to purchase today as well. So these are only on sale for a short period of time, so make sure you get in quickly if you would like anything. Now, our events are a key part of who we are, and they're very popular with students from all year levels. They're a great way for students to meet other students and develop clinical skills and experience things they may not be able to experience in the classroom. So we'll quickly go through a few of those, starting with CFS Day. Every year we team up with the Burnside CFS team for a full day of high acuity MVA simulations. Students work with paramedics and fireys cutting apart wrecked cars and treating a variety of patients, and we try and make the scenarios as fun and as hectic as possible. This is a great hands-on event, and students really enjoy this, and it's also perfect for first-year students who may not get real-life exposure to events like this until later on in their degree.
Beautiful. So I'll take over from Willow. So my name's Brianna, I'm the Vice President of FUSPA. So we also have internship night, which is another huge event for us, and it's one that's very important. This is a night where we get SA ambulance personnel into uni to speak to us about the crucial internship process, including the interview, the documents you must submit, as well as the actual internship itself. We also reach out to people from other states to talk about their internships and the process around that for other states. Once again, first year students can benefit from this so much by learning about it early on, and we can't recommend it enough. MedStar Day is also another popular one that we've held in the past, where students have had the chance to tour the MedStar base and see our MedStar paras and SOTs in practice, as well as see all of the behind scenes that go on. We regularly have opportunities to volunteer for MedStar training days, as well as where we assist incoming doctors with simulations and scenarios, so keep an eye out for any chances that may be coming up to get involved in that one. Our social events cannot be forgotten about either. We run 2 pub crawls a year, which are always massive hits, and are a great way in first year to meet some peers and in a more relaxed environment. We will be releasing information about our first 2024 pub crawl very soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. Quiz night is another really enjoyable social event, which is very popular with students every year and in each year level. It is a themed night, but we're yet to decide on a theme. It's filled with trivia, games and competitions, and there are prizes involved, so you don't want to miss out on that one either. Our last and biggest event of the year is the end of year ball, which last year was hosted at the Adelaide Oval. This is a chance to dress up and celebrate your inevitable hard work, and our planning is already underway, so we can't wait to see you all there for that one. Now, how to join. So I hope you're all now wondering how you can join. Memberships will be open from today on our website. These are $15 and it grants you access to tickets for members-only events such as CFS Day and others we are planning for this year. Members also receive discounts on tickets to other events plus our merchandise, so they pay for themselves pretty quickly. We will also be creating a members-only mailing list this year that includes regular updates on things going on at uni, plus avenues for feedback, which you don't want to miss out on. Our members also allow FUSPA to continue what we do, so thank you in advance to everyone who decides to join. As I said before, we are also looking for, well, as Willow said before, we are also looking for 3 first-year committee members, 2 NT representatives and 1 regional representative. Applications are now open on our website where you can find out more information about these positions. Joining the committee is hands down the best way to get involved in this degree. It is a 3-year position, so you are able to progress to an executive role as you move into 2nd and 3rd year. It is also a great way for our NT and regional students to represent their cohorts, so we can get everyone involved. Regional students, if you'd like to try something new, take on a leadership role and develop connections with staff and those outside of the degree. We really encourage you all to have a look into this, and we can't wait for you to read all of your applications. Finally, we invite you to join our 2024 Flinders Paramedicine student page on Facebook, where all FUSPA updates will be posted. You can search this up on Facebook or find one of us and we'll help you join. If you don't use Facebook, send us through an email and we can add you to our mailing list. If you have any questions, please feel free to come up to one of us after the session or contact us on our socials listed here. Once again, a massive congratulations, and we can't wait to see all of your faces around uni.
Thank you very much, Bree and Willow. Okay, I'd like to welcome Justin back to the stage, and he's going to briefly provide you an overview of the Australasian College of Paramedicine and how that can help you as a student. Let's turn on there.
Hi again, guys. So congratulations for being here. Again, my name's Justin Harrello. I'm the Regional Engagement Officer for the College of Paramedicine. You probably have never heard of us before. Most people haven't if they're not involved in paramedicine. I'll give a brief overview of what we do. So we're the peak professional organisation for paramedics in both Australia and New Zealand. And we have a strong focus on advocacy, education, leadership, and research and support, both for paramedics that are already out working, but also for paramedic students that are starting their career, so you guys obviously. We have over 10,000 members, including paramedics, students, and other allied health clinicians, so like researchers, physicians, people that are involved in the paramedicine world. We also have a recent addition of a regional engagement team. So that is my position, and the point of the regional engagement team is to increase face-to-face and online events and interactions between us and our members. So we also have additional support for paramedic students. So this is one of the reasons that we're here. Historically, the college hasn't really done a lot with students, at least in the last few years. So it's something that we understand needs to change. So that's why we're here. Our hope is that you're going to be seeing us every now and then throughout your degree. And that'll be during events that you guys are putting on, but also that events that we want to hold in Adelaide for not just you, but also other paramedics as well. So it's a great opportunity for you guys to mingle with your future colleagues. Like I said, we have a strong focus on education. There's a lot of continuing professional development that you need in order to register with APRA once you become a paramedic. This is something that we offer. We have over 450 online courses, and we're adding more and more every day. So whenever we do an event, it's all recorded. It's also streamed online, so you can watch them all online. And we also do self-paced interactive e-learning, and this could be on anything from cardiac to neurology to palliative care. Whatever you think that, whatever you're looking for, we probably have something on it. And this can be really, really useful for you guys as students to use as a study aid. It gives you a different perspective from just your textbooks because most of our stuff is taught by paramedics that have years of experience, or we have subject matter experts that come in and they're doing their presentations as well. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we do grants and scholarships for education and research. We also have a CPD tracker. It's something that you don't really need to know about too much right now, but once you're out as a paramedic, keeping track of all your clinical development points, that is super useful when you're trying to re-register with APRA. We have talking research webinars and also a podcast specifically about research. And we also have a research mentoring program. So we have PhD level researchers that come in and take junior researchers and kind of show them the ropes so that they can progress in their career. Right now, progressing your career in research, it might not be on the forefront of your thoughts. You want to get through this program first, but these are the kind of things that we offer through the college. Another big thing that we do is advocacy. So we understand that that paramedics need to be represented in more areas than just on ambulance. And this is slowly changing as it has been over the last few years. So some of the big things that we've been pushing is for a paramedic lead in each state at like a government level. And then also getting paramedics into urgent care facilities throughout Australia that are rolling out. Because when organizations come to us or governments come to us at a federal or state level, we tell them basically like paramedics fit really, really well with other healthcare providers. It's not just on an ambulance anymore. So the hope is that by joining the college, you can help support this kind of thing. And when you guys come out of into your career, you'll have more opportunities. Like I said, we have a lot of events that we're planning for the next year. Recently, we've been increasing the number of face-to-face events, and all of these are being streamed online. It's free for all members, and we, like I said, we have subject matter experts that come in and talk about different things, and some of them are clinical, some of them are non-clinical. Like last night in Adelaide, we actually had one on cardiothoracic surgery and implanted devices, that kind of thing. But then 2 weeks ago, we had one on paramedic physical fitness and mental well-being and how to create like a career longevity, essentially. So a little bit of everything in there. And they're all presented by paramedics with a wealth of experience or subject matter experts. We also have an upcoming event on February 28th. It's reframing different crises as natural disasters. It's coming out of WA, but it'll be streamed online. It's free for both members and non-members. So if you guys are interested in just checking something out, especially something that's not like super clinical at the start of your learning, then this is a good way to see what the college has to offer. For the first, probably the next few months, we're going to be doing free events like this as an open host so that you guys can get an opportunity to see what we have to offer. And then we also have student member benefits, so it's a good way to get involved with your new career. All these face-to-face events are really good networking opportunities. We had a lot of paramedics last night at our event in Adelaide, and that was at St. Andrew's Hospital as well, so there was a lot of clinicians there. It's just a good way to get involved with paramedicine before you actually become paramedics. And then we also have resources for study, like I said, all the e-learning modules and things like that, and support scholarships and awards at your university. So if you want to join the college, I'm going to be here downstairs after the event. Come up and chat. I'm happy to talk about it. And we have lots of information on our website. It's just paramedics.org. So cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you once again, Justin. Appreciate it. Okay, I'd like to introduce you to, and being mindful of time, apologies, we're almost finished and food is waiting, I know, to Serafina and Stuart. They're both graduates of this program, Serafina a few years ago and Stuart more recently, and they're both current practicing paramedics with SA Ambulance Service as well.
Thank you, Jared.
That's on, thanks.
Hi. I'm going to do the real sort of cop-out intro. I sort of got the buzz yesterday asking if I want to come down and do a bit of a talk. So this is Sarah. She's also a qualified paramedic. Yeah. So you have to forgive me if I glance down my phone a bit because I've got some sort of talking points that I thought I'd cover so I don't get too lost. But my name's Stuart. I finished the Bachelor of Paramedical Science back in 2020. And started an internship with SA Ambulance in 2021, following which I moved out to the Western and the Southern metro regions to mentor new paramedics, which has been a lot of fun. Without sounding like a bit of a broken record, I really do want to congratulate all of you for making it this far. It is a really, really hard course to get into. It's a really rewarding course, and it will give back as much as you put into it. So I really do encourage you all to put up your hand and make the most of it. I think one of the best things about the course is the mix between some of the people who have come fresh from high school and those who have gone and done something else and then made a bit of a career change. Just out of interest, can you pop your hand up if you are not fresh out of school? Oh, cool. Yeah, sweet. This is really cool, and I think you'll get a lot out of people who have gone and done other things because they can, a lot of the time, bring a really cool and fresh perspective to what you've gone through. A lot of them have probably also studied at some point, and again, congratulations for coming off full-time work and back to study. That is a hard gig. This course is really good at preparing you for outside and the paramedical role, or whatever you want to call it. It is a really dynamic sort of landscape at the moment. It is still a very fresh registered career, only really since 2018, so gone really are the days that you could be a state ambo, and now there's so many different doors which are beginning to open up, and that's only really going to increase as time goes by, which is really, really cool. The course is really hands-on. It's different from a lot of courses in the fact that you're not just sort of strapped to the books, and you do a lot of practical sort of skills, so learning how to drag people out of cars, cannulation, basic and advanced life support, learning how drugs work, cannulation, breaking glass vials and cutting your fingers, which will definitely happen. You'll get some scars. And I got lost. Here you go, I'm looking at my notes. But yeah, also you'll be spending a lot of time out on road, so doing your clinical placements. So we're starting off doing patient transport, which is a great little introduction into talking to oldies and talking to people who are unwell. There will be some of the sickest patients that you'll meet, so be honest with what you find and really make the most of being out there and in that space. And then obviously you'll have your emergency paramedic placements where you'll be out with the lights and the sirens and sometimes some of the exciting stuff. Which brings me to the point of it is important, I think, to be realistic about what the job is and what perhaps you're getting yourself into. I think recently with all the telly and news and stuff, it's probably appears like a very glamorous, very sterile and exciting workplace, but I think 9 times out of 10 it is foundationally pretty chaotic things which doctors, nurses in hospitals might do on a routine basis, and what might be quite consistent for them is made very different by the fact that you're roadside or on the beach, screaming, crying, blood and mud and things like that. It has the capacity to be very exciting. But again, not everything is going to be all the big and exciting. A lot of the time there's lower acuity work and a whole lot of searching and maybe preliminary, butcher that word, but when you sort of work out what might be going on. So it will require you to be pretty proficient with your assessments, your understanding of pathophysiology and your knowledge behind various conditions that you'll find within the community. However, it is also likely, and this is on a more serious note, you'll probably see some things beyond human horrors and comprehension. And I urge you to really work out some support mechanisms for yourselves. So whether that's chatting with your friends or with your family or making yourself heard within your crew. Because it is at the end of the day an emergency services job, and you will be attending real life emergencies. On a brighter note, you're coming through at a really, really good time. South Australia is doing one of its biggest recruitment drives in a long time. So really get in there and enjoy the course, enjoy the learning, enjoy your placements, put your hand up, put your best foot forward, and carry that through, outside of uni and through your internship or through your career, and really make the most of this fantastic course. I probably butchered that, but young Sarah here is much smarter than I am, and she's going to cover the rest of it. So thank you. I'll be hanging around outside if you want to come say g'day, or if you've got any sort of questions. Cheers.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to top that one, especially the horrors beyond human comprehension. Guys, my name is Sarah. I have come through the Flinders degree also. Came through, started working for SAS in 2017, so I've got about 6 years on-road experience. I have got clinical instructing under my belt. I'm a clinical educator. I work with the hospitals as well as an ambulance liaison officer. I've done a few things, and I'm applying to be an intensive care paramedic as well. See how that one turns out. But from where I started, I remember in the third year of uni, on my very first day, I accidentally hit someone's car on the way in. And then because I hit their car, I was running late to my first
I'm so sorry, this ended up being a theme.
I was running late to my first lecture, which actually happened to be Brad teaching. And so I walked in, tears in my eyes, every spot was taken. I had to walk across the whole thing, having a mental breakdown to go sit on that side. And that's where I started, and you might feel like, oh my gosh, this is so daunting and this is crazy and I can't do this, but I'm telling you right now, if I can do it, you can too. So congratulations on making it here. Yes, so I guess the main point what I'm trying to make is you can have some really up and down days, and you can think that you're having the worst day of your life, but if you can push through and work really hard and just enjoy yourself as much as you can, make sure you're putting in the time, make sure you're putting in the effort, and you might think that, oh, I'm not so much a confident person, all those paramedics look super extroverted and they just know exactly what they're doing. I'm telling you right now, you start from the bottom and you got to start somewhere, and then you will get there in the end. And SAS really do, or the SA Ambulance Service, they really do value a lot of different kinds of personalities. So even if you're maybe a little bit more quieter, like I was as a student having a mental health breakdown on the way in, Brad, if you're wondering, that was why. It's a really exciting experience. It's a really good time, and you will have, like I said, ups and downs. You will have some really exciting jobs. I've delivered a couple of babies, which has been really exciting. I've held people's hand as they've, been at the end of their life, and it's been a really humbling experience. And I've helped little old nanas back into bed, that kind of thing. So there's a whole bunch of different types of experiences you will all have that will be really humbling and really exciting and just really amazing as well. So take every opportunity, lap it all up, all the experiences you have, ask questions, look out for each other. The people in this room, you will all become really good friends over the next 3 years, and you might carry that on for years and years to come. So look out for each other and really enjoy the process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to Stuart and Sarah. Now just quickly, I know we are pushing for time, just a couple of quick slides I want to get through. Just wider university supports the college has and the university has in general. Student administrative services, basically they're the back end of the university and the courses you don't see that helps get today up and running yet again by doing the Eventbrite ticketing, etc., etc. But they go obviously beyond that. They can teach you with help you with examination, teaching support, etc. The main thing is for the college, cmph.inquiries@flinders.edu.au. Things to do with timetabling. If you want to change from one class to the next, don't come to your topic coordinator, contact these guys and they'll change it in your timetable and see if there's actual space to do it. Otherwise, ask Flinders, as Brad said earlier. Just make sure you include your student ID and your FAN or Flinders, Flinders identification name, basically. There's also Oasis, which was touched on earlier by Robert. They're up on the main campus and have a nice, quiet wellbeing centre. Offer all sorts of different services for you and supports. International student services, if there are any international students in here, they're up near level 1 above the professional services centre, up near the library. They have a range of supports available to you and can refer you to appropriate services if need be. Number of others, student success and wellbeing advisors, prayer room, conversation groups, etc. And all that's available on the Flinders student web page. It's all there for you. One thing I must say is orientation, that is this week. Today's day 2. Make your way, if you can, over the next couple of days, up to main campus. Go and have a crack at $500 for a hole-in-one golf. Why not? $500 for one swing, I'll take that. Or $10 tab voucher and get yourself, a pizza and a Coke or something else if you're of legal age. There's lots of activities going on up there, lots of giveaways and stuff. Please hang around downstairs underneath. We have some stalls set up. We've got some of our equipment out, some of our mannequins, as I said earlier, for some CPR. So yes, you're going to get stuck into that in the next couple of weeks, but have a go down there now. Some of our awesome peer educators and peer mentors will be hanging around and they'll be down there as well. Please also know where registration was. We have some food available, some light snacks, sandwiches, etc., as well as some pizza. You're able to come back in here and eat it or mingle around and take it with you. Thank you very much for being here. Welcome, and we'll see you next week.